to share with you a beautiful exercise that I was taught by Kevin Richmond and Martin James, who are all English National Ballet Peter Schofi's generation dancers. This is a very simple exercise and it's for attitude and arabesque, two very important fundamental positions within the vocational RAD examination mode. So let's begin. It's all based on passé. So first of all, I would establish that my students are able to do a good passé piqué, maintaining the turnout of the working leg and the turnout of the supporting leg with a little toe chassé to get over and on their leg and on balance. Very important to push with the back leg, to push. So we push from here to arrive in the passé, and then that will establish as we push from the back leg into arabesque as well. So, just going back with it. Going to the how in the Laban system, or framework. When we do this exercise, so it's actually in your advanced foundation, you've got the fundamentals of maintaining the working leg and the knee and the hamstring. And you've also got that little toe chassé and the pushing with the back leg to be able to arrive into the passé position. This knee stays up. And then you want that the dynamic is kind of quick, slow. So we want to arrive, suspend, suspend. Quick, slow, suspend. And of course, keeping the rotation of the lower leg for that fish line. So one thing that I do usually to help with this, so just go back to second position. So single poses, arriving with the foot to the derriere and cutting into the coupe. Of course, in the advanced foundation exercise, we have this one to go on. But making sure that those fundamentals are set before we're working on our arabesque pose. Also, what I noticed in the lower vocational grades is that you have your very fundamental position. I call it sort of, it's going to be a darting, like a bow and arrow sensation. So the dynamic is that you're going to keep the turnout here. We're going to push through the toe chassé and we push out to come through. Just to let us talk a little bit about Laban's spatial relationship, so where. When we're doing something simple as an arabesque parcours, you're actually thinking of when you're going to go through. So that leg coming through, tombe, up and tombe. The tombe stepping through gives momentum for the parcours. And I'll just go step back so I'm in the frame, but the parcours is the travelling step. So that's where push the energy through space so that the next suspension after that parcours can be up and lower, the up and down. So that dynamic going forward, pushing the energy and the body through, and then catching and suspending up and resist down to lower to land. So I hope that that's been a bit explicit. The pose onto arabesque and then coming through is really a tombe, and it does feel like falling, but you have to contain and suspend that fall, or control coming out. So there's a lot of suspension, and we're going to just cover that in this next section here. So here I'm back in the studio again, several years later. This was 2011, and now here I am in 2024. Gonna try it again for you. And to get that across to my students, I have a student now who is going to attempt to do her arabesques and attitudes, which is all in the variation in advanced foundation, for the first time onto arabesque and attitude. Just going over this exercise again. So the effort for Laban would be to refer to that kind of bow and arrow kind of effect of the straight line. It's been described that arabesque is a straight line, whereas attitude is a curved position. So when you do the attitude to catch, it's more of a catch. You have to wrap the leg around to catch that suspension for the attitude. Okay, so haven't danced that in 10 years since I did Aurora for South African Ballet Theatre in Joburg. So, still able to demonstrate. I'll have a good time critiquing that little demonstration in our next little video. So one of the things that students sometimes struggle with in arabesque is actually just making sure that the back foot stays fished as it comes through, and that we're presenting from the hip, of course, that turnout in the quasi position and the awareness of on fast. So to do that on the diagonal, you've got the very good battement fondue, push with the back foot and come through and come forward. Far forward. So we step and forward. And I always tell my students that they need, in terms of the how, they need to picture and visualize the line that they're making from 5 points. So that's straight arabesque. The arabesque has to come through the upper body so that they're making that line through the eye line, and also the backhand is important as well. There needs to be the energy coming through the fingertips towards the back, which is where you've got also the back leg as well. Now I've just got to do a little bit of work on rotating my back through and fish. So I'd just like to say thank you for watching this lovely presentation, and also it's been really enjoyable to revisit Laban. I found some interesting topics, and I'm going to do a little bit more reading and probably read his book, which I actually haven't read, but I did at school. We did Laban notation for probably 2 terms with a lady called Jennifer Shannon, who's a dance academic from New Zealand. And yeah, it's been quite inspiring. I've also found Shona Dunlop had quite a lot of connection with Laban, and she was the mother of modern dance in New Zealand. So thank you very much for the inspiration, Paul. Have a great rest of